What?
It's a song nearly as old as baseball itself. Take Me Out to the Ball Game is a sing-along tradition that's honored not only in the major leagues, but organized baseball everywhere, including here at historic Labatt Memorial Park, home of the London Majors of the Intercounty Baseball League and the oldest active ballpark in the world, dating back to 1877. Now, the song itself was originally composed in 1908. Jack Norworth was riding on a New York subway, scribbled the lyrics on the back of an envelope in about 15 minutes. But why did it take more than 7 decades before Take Me Out to the Ball Game became stamped on North America's sporting psyche? Today, we discover the quiet man behind the curtain, responsible for the success of virtually every hit recording, every blockbuster movie, every best-selling book, every star performer, virtually every business or branding game changer. Who knows? Maybe you'll figure out how you can discover a quiet man behind the curtain who will help you knock it out of the ballpark on this edition of the Reinvention Chronicles. The world is full of undiscovered talent. Artists, performers, entrepreneurs, all praying for that big break that's going to make them a household name, hoping that they'll be recognized for the supremely gifted talent they are, and that talent itself is more than enough to take them to the top. What many fail to realize is 2 things. Number 1, talent in of itself is a cheap and plentiful resource. Number 2, the missing piece of the puzzle, the key piece of the puzzle, the presence of the quiet man or woman behind the curtain. In the case of Take Me Out to the Ball Game, the song itself was composed by a vaudeville guy, Jack Norworth, in 1908. It was part of a lot of song and dance routines through the 20s and 30s, but only became an anthem for the entire sport in the mid-70s when Chicago White Sox play-by-play guy Harry Carey started singing the number for a group of fans within earshot outside his booth. As Harry himself tells the story, White Sox owner Bill Veeck noticed the choir's reaction to Harry's off-key chorus and told Harry he should sing it for the entire stadium.
And all this to-do about me singing the Take Me Out to the Ball Game in the middle of the 7th inning, I always did that. It's the only song I know the words to. The only people who hear me would be Jimmy Pearsall and Mike Torchia, our TV producer. And then Bill Veeck bought the ball club. And the first game he owned the club, he looks over in the press box and he sees me through lip reading. He figures out what I'm doing. But he sees something I never knew. Right below the booth, there are about 8 or 9 people. And through lip reading, he could see they were singing with me. So the next night, without my knowing it, he hid a public address microphone. Root for the White Sox. Wow, all of a sudden I hear my voice coming booming back at me, along with about 8,000 others. When the game is over, I go up to Veeck. I said, Bill, what in the world was that all about? He said, Harry, 45 years I've been looking for the right man. He says, as soon as I heard you, I knew you're the right guy. I began to puff up in the flattery, you know. He said, yes, I don't care whether you're sitting in the bleachers, sitting in the grandstand seat, sitting in a luxury box, wherever you're sitting. He says, as soon as you start singing, that man sitting wherever he's sitting knows he can sing better than you, and so he joins in.
So it was Bill Veeck who stood off to the side and helped give birth to a legend with Harry's lusty sing-along to that Comiskey Park crowd. Harry's 7th inning serenade went national and viral before viral was cool when he left the White Sox and joined the Cubs in 1982
with games broadcast on cable superstation WGN. Before you know it, celebrities began flocking to his Wrigley Field booth to take part in the fun. Muhammad Ali, Ozzy Osbourne, Vince Vaughn, Bill Murray, Hillary Clinton, you name them, they were there. So many clamoring to climb into that television booth and belt out their own version of baseball's famous jingle. If Harry Carey were still alive today, he'd be the first to tell you. None of this would have happened without his quiet man behind the curtain. It was Bill Veeck, the owner of the Cleveland Indians, the St. Louis Browns, and the Chicago White Sox, who knew better than anyone else in the history of the game how to get fans in the seats. It was Veeck who dreamed up crowd pleasers like Fan Appreciation Night, prizes, giveaways, players' names on uniforms, fireworks, electronic scoreboards, anything he could do to make the players, the game, and undiscovered talents like Harry Carey become larger than life. Game-changing success never happens without a quiet man or woman behind the curtain. The person who works behind the scenes selflessly and tirelessly, promoting the gifts and talents you possess. The king of rock and roll, Elvis, had Colonel Tom Parker. Led Zeppelin had Peter Grant. Dan Aykroyd, Cubs fan Bill Murray, and all the stars of Saturday Night Live had Lorne Michaels. Celine Dion had Renee Angelil. Steve Wozniak, who tinkered in his garage, had Steve Jobs, and Apple itself had both Jobs and an ad agency guy by the name of Lee Clow, who inspired people all over the world to think different.
Another quiet man behind the curtain is New York Times and Wall Street Journal best-selling author Roy H. Williams, the Wizard of Ads out of Wizard Academy in Austin, Texas. Roy's the unseen force behind thousands of small business success stories all over the world. And it was Roy who taught me some time ago that talent resides on every street corner. Talent can be found in every coffee shop that you and I visit. Talent essentially fills the bleachers of our personal and professional lives. Ubiquitous and unrecognized. Still waiting to be discovered. What's much harder to find is that selfless ringmaster, willing to pump the tires and wave the flag for somebody or something other than him or herself. Now he or she can do it quietly or flamboyantly. On stage, like David Letterman does with his guests, or off stage, like Mutt Lange did for AC/DC and Shania Twain. But colossal success will never happen without that quiet man or woman behind the curtain working to raise your profile, create that larger-than-life persona, which makes business a lot easier, bank managers a lot friendlier, and more CEOs willing to take your call. So here's the Twitter-worthy takeaway. The best promotion is selfless promotion, but you can't do it alone. You're going to need somebody else to toot your horn to fill your ballpark. No matter how talented you are, it's impossible to stand in the spotlight without that quiet man or woman working their magic in the shadows. So, which idea from today's episode resonated with you the most? Please share, because one of the great pleasures of doing these video blogs is you share the seed of some ideas like we have today, and then you just never know how someone jumps on that idea, piggybacks on it, and rides it and takes it even further, and then shares it with other people who are joining this Reinvention Chronicle community. So whether you aspire to compose a hit recording, produce a viral video, or invent the next best thing, one of the best moves you can make is to find that rare gem of a partner willing to jump into your dugout and blow your trumpet. And if you are lucky enough to find that special guy or gal, make sure you recognize and appreciate the role they play in polishing the gold you possess and making your diamond sparkle for all the world to see. Could there be a Bill Veeck in your life ready to help amplify your level of company or career reinvention? Or do you need to become the Bill Veeck for somebody else? Sellout crowds and standing ovations rarely happen without that quiet man or woman behind the curtain looking to help you recreate and reimagine the business, the brand, the career, the life that you deserve.
That was me. That was my weekend.
I think this is really going to be the Cubs here.
I'm sorry? What?
They've got a great lineup with Grace and Dawson. I just know I wouldn't want to face them.
I can't hear that. What is that?
I just hope, that Maddox and Sutcliffe can lead them in the rotation.
Turn on. Let me see the audience. I'm sorry. There's something going on.
I think that really it's going to be an outstanding year for the Cubs.
I don't. Look at that. Ladies and gentlemen, look at that. It's announcing great Harry Carey. Stand up, Harry. Come on, stand up. Hi, everybody. Harry Carey, ladies and gentlemen. Wow. It's great to have you, Harry. Nice to see it's Dave. The late Harry Carey, ladies and gentlemen. Harry, we're right in the middle of the show, but thanks for stopping by. It's great to see you, Harry Carey.
Oh, I'd love to come up on the stage.
No, that's not what I said.
Thank you. Just love it.
Hi, Harry.
Hi.
Good to see you.
Gosh. You know what? You know what, Ed? It's great to be here. When is Topo Gigio coming out?
Well, Topo Gigio is not coming out because I'm not Ed.
Hey, isn't it true you're retiring, Ed?
Yes. Yes, half of that is right, Harry.
That's a good call. Yeah. I could tell you were losing a little mustard off the heater. Hey, what are we gonna do about this wall in Berlin? I'm worried sick about it.
I think that came down years ago. I don't think that's a problem anymore.
Oh, thank God.
Yeah.
Hey, is there anything this Obama can't do?
Yeah.
Pretty
good, isn't he?
Yeah. You should think about having it on your show.
I know. We're looking into it, but we're very busy.
And the 2-0 pitch is in there to Dunston. Strike on the corner. Listen, I gotta go now. I'm getting dinner at Patsy's with Frank Crosetti and Phil Rizzuto. The Money Store. I like to start with a nice antipasto salad. It has lettuce, onion, olives, artichoke, and olives.
Olives, right.
And then I wash it down with a nice, cool Budweiser.
All right, great.
Budweiser, the king of beer.
That's right.
Hey, hit me with a little organ, Paul.
A little organ, Paul.
Let me root for the Cubbies. If they don't win, it's a shame. 'Cause it's 1, 2, 3 strikes, you're out at the old ball game. Cubs win! Cubs win!
Bouncing ball. And the ball game is over. And Greg Maddox has won his 15th game of the year. He lost 11. That's a 4th straight year that he has won 15 or more. And too bad we couldn't have had a victory that meant a pennant. But that will come. Sure as God made green apples, someday the Chicago Cubs are going to be in the World Series. And maybe sooner than we think.